Hey, Retro Community. Now, normally I would save this type of video for a monthly pickups video, but this is just too awesome to wait a month on. So I was browsing Facebook Marketplace to look up any potential garage sales that may start up soon. And as I was looking for them, Facebook recommended this really awesome lot. And it was such a good deal that I just had to go for it. But instead of talking about it some more, I'm just going to go ahead and show you. So as you can see here, I picked up a really nice Mac lot, and it was for what I really feel is a really good price. We're going to start off with this. It's an iMac G3 DV. It's about 500 megahertz, at least according to the info on the back. Came with 128 megabytes of RAM and a 30 gig hard drive, as well as a DVD-ROM drive. Now, I don't know if it's been upgraded or not, but as you can see, it does have a few cracks on the interior plastic, which is unfortunate. I'll have to open it up and see if I can repair it. Plus, there's this weird little reddish, brownish piece. Don't know what it is. It doesn't look familiar at all. But other than that, everything else looks like it's in great shape. Now, I'll probably end up maxing out the RAM if it isn't already and replace the hard drive with a CF to IDE adapter, just, for longevity reasons. And I'm probably going to have to replace the PRAM battery as well. But, other than a few scuffs and scrapes and those couple of cracks, it's in pretty good shape. So, and, considering what I paid for the entire lot, this was definitely a good pickup. And next we have an iMac G4 15-inch flat panel model. So I got another one. If you guys remember, last year I got a 17-inch one, although that one was a widescreen variety and was running at 1 gigahertz. So this one's a little slower, but I now have a sibling for it. 700 megahertz CPU, came with 256 megabytes of RAM and a 40 gig hard drive. Same with the last. I'll replace the hard drive with a CF to ID adapter and probably max out the RAM, replace the PRAM battery. And here we have a 17-inch iMac G5 model. It's in great shape, uses a SATA hard drive, which is great because I can replace it with an SSD. It's a 2 gigahertz CPU, came stock with 512 megabytes of RAM, and I'll probably max that out if I can and replace the PRAM battery, of course. But again, this is probably in the best shape out of all of them, and I'm really glad to have this in my collection now. And the next Mac is a Mac Pro. Now this is the 2.1 release, and it's one of the first gen Mac Pros with an Intel CPU, but it's not the first one. It's definitely a little banged up, unfortunately. It's got some serious scratches and things like that. And on top of that, the PRAM battery clip broke off, and so I'm gonna have to probably solder a new one on. Not a big deal. But it supposedly has two 3 gigahertz Xeons, 8 cores each. Came stock with an ATI X1900, though the seller said that was upgraded to another video card. I'll have to find out what it is. Also, originally came with two 500 gig hard drives, although this one only has one 750 gig hard drive. SATA interface again, so I can probably replace with an SSD. Maybe I can even look at a PCI Express SSD or NVMe to PCI Express adapter. I may go with a primary SSD drive and then as a secondary, just some sort of mechanical disk. We'll see. And I'll probably max out the RAM if it's not already, and definitely replace that PRAM battery holder. And here you can also see I got one keyboard to use among all of them, but that's not a big deal. It is missing the shift key though. And last, it came with an old Apple personal laser writer. This is an LS model, and it's based off the Canon LBP-LX engine. This one has a serial port, but they made different models that also supported local talk and a parallel port. Yes, that type of parallel port. No idea if it works. I think it's got toner in it. Don't know if it's good or not. I'll have to look it over and see if it even powers on. And I'll also either have to try to find a serial cable for it and hook it up to my PowerBook, or try to find a way to install a parallel port on it, maybe through some sort of interface card. I'm not sure. And it's a printer, so it prints things. Now, none of these came with any accessories except for that one Pro keyboard, and I'm not sure if any of these things work at all, although according to the listing's description, they should. Now, I do have some extra USB mice and keyboards laying around, so I can test these all out, but like I said earlier, I have no way of actually testing out the printer. Now, I'll see if I can find a serial cable for it, like I said, to test my PowerBook, or maybe replace the serial port card with a parallel card. However, some quick research online suggests that this specific model does not have a processor in it. All the processing is done on the Mac, and the data is just streamed over to the printer to print, so that may be difficult. And also, other than the specs that are printed on the machines, I don't know what they actually have if they were upgraded or anything like that. So I'm going to definitely have to tear these apart and find out what's in them. Specifically the iMac DV, since there are those cracks in there and that little weird red piece of plastic. I got to figure out where that came from. But that's all I have for this video. I know you're all dying to see what's inside and to see if they work, but that would probably be a 48-hour video or longer. So instead, I'm going to release several videos going over each one. There'll probably be two-parters, who knows. I'll know more as I get to each one. So if you want to see any one specific model first, leave a comment below, and if there's enough consensus, I'll start with that one. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to go in chronological order. And as usual, if you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up, and if not, there's the thumbs down button as well. Thanks all, and I'll catch you later.